The movie starts with two women, Meg and Kayla, walking in an alley holding hands when they're confronted by a group of women that are intolerant to their lifestyle. The women start shouting negative things and Meg wants to ignore them and keep walking, but when her girlfriend flips them off, they grab Meg and beat her unconscious. We then fast forward to 1 year later where Meg is at an airport waiting for her ride because she was invited to an island resort where her friend was getting married. She receives a text from her friend Cam saying, "Please don't be mad at me," because she's having her ex-girlfriend Kayla that got her beat up pick her up at the airport. On the ride to the resort, Kayla tries to explain to Meg that it wasn't her idea not to tell her that she was picking her up, but Lizzie, her friend that was getting married, thought that she wouldn't come if she knew that Kayla would be there. We finally arrive at the beautiful island resort where she's greeted by Cam and Lizzie, her friend that's getting married tomorrow. Then they go to find Ruth, the fifth member of their group that's getting some exercise on the beach. Meg goes to her room to unpack and then they have a pre-wedding dinner on the beach. Afterward, the girls go to a club to celebrate and have a night of partying before Lizzie gets married. The next morning, Cam wakes up Meg because the girls plan to spend one last day together on a boat. But when they get to the dock, they're disappointed to see that Cam borrowed a tiny boat for them to take. The girls are hesitant, but Cam talks them into going along. Once they're all aboard, they head out to a secluded island away from the resort. When they arrive, Meg and Kayla get out of the boat and Cam tells them they'll be back after they talk things out. Then they go to the other side of the island. After they sit on the beach for a while, they decide to go and join the others. Before they get back, Kayla apologizes to Meg for everything. Meg and Kayla come up with a plan to show up where the other girls are holding hands to make them think that they got back together. While everyone is celebrating the reunion, Ruth is a little far offshore and feels something hit her leg. She's confused and then realizes she's been bit by something. Her friends take her to shore. They see the damage and lay her down and try to figure out what to do next. Lizzie blames Cam for bringing them into shark-infested waters. They try to stop the bleeding by wrapping her leg and then they carry her to the boat. Meg tells Lizzie to call an ambulance and have them waiting at the dock when they get there. But Kayla can't get a phone signal. They get the boat started and head back to the resort with Lizzie driving, but she panics and gives full power to the engine. Cam tells her to slow down and stop the boat, but it's too late. They hit the coral and put a hole in the boat and it starts to sink. Plugging the hole with clothes doesn't work and Kayla starts to blame Cam for everything that's happened. Meg tells Kayla if she's finished yelling at Cam to go find the life jackets. When Kayla gets to the front of the boat, she can't believe that there's only one. So they use the only life jacket for Ruth. Lizzie starts to panic because she can't swim. The boat sinks while they try to keep Ruth above water. Kayla checks the phone one last time and sees that it's dead and throws it away. They float around for a bit and try to console each other. That's when they notice the shark circling them. At the same time, they notice that their friend Ruth has passed away, and Lizzie can't believe that her maid of honor was attacked by a shark. Ruth is spilling so much into the ocean that Cam decides they need to get rid of the body. They remove the life jacket and say their goodbyes, and push her body out to sea, and then she gets eaten by a shark. Afterward, they decide they can't sit there and do nothing and someone has to swim to land. Kayla volunteers because she feels she's the strongest swimmer in the group. More time goes by and Lizzie is still panicking and blaming Cam for the situation. Feeling that the situation is only going to get worse, they decide to tell Meg the truth about what happened the night of her attack. They let her know that Kayla was going to propose to her that night, but then they broke up. Meg then tries to swim to catch Kayla, and Cam goes after her. That's when Lizzie notices the shark and tries to draw the shark to her. But Cam gets bit. The shark then turns and heads back toward Lizzie, but Cam is leaking in the water. So the shark turns back around and heads towards Meg and Cam. Meg wants to fix her arm, but Cam knows she's done for. He says, "I can't stay here with you," pulls out a knife and swims away. They watch in horror as the shark knocks the knife out of Cam's hand. And then the inevitable happens, but she goes down fighting. Now it's just the two of them left and more time passes and they're exhausted. Meg sees a boat and they try everything in their power to signal, but no one on the boat sees them. More time goes by and Lizzie tells Meg that Kayla's never forgiven herself for what happened that night. Then we're taken to a shot of Kayla. She's still alive and swimming. More time passes and Meg falls asleep, dreaming about Kayla. It's nighttime now and they're in the middle of a thunderstorm. After it's over, Lizzie has to hold Meg above water because she's exhausted from treading water all day. Lizzie places something in Meg's pocket and tells her she's going to be okay. Lizzie now blames herself for everything. In the morning, Meg wakes up with the life jacket on and can't find Lizzie. And she came to the realization that Lizzie sacrificed herself. Meg starts to swim and then she sees the shark. And when the shark attacks, she punches it in the gills like Lizzie said. And the shark stops the attack but doesn't go away. Meg is cut, but she tries to keep her arm up so she doesn't leak in the water. She takes off the life jacket and wipes her arm on it and throws it as far as she can and starts to swim. The shark goes for the life jacket. Meg makes it to the coral just in time where she cuts her leg. Her hand is injured badly, so she wraps it in her t-shirt and tries to relax. More time goes by and she falls asleep as the tide rolls in, and the shark returns. She doesn't have much time left because the water is almost covering the whole coral reef. And now there's 2 sharks. But just as all hope is lost, she sees a boat, and it's Kayla coming to save her. Just as the shark attacks, Meg jumps into the water and makes it to the boat. She's in the boat and Kayla tells her, "I told you we'd talk later." Then Meg goes in her pocket and finds all the friendship bracelets that Lizzie put there before she sacrificed herself. Then Kayla tells Meg, "I think we should go home together."